Hi, I'm Anita, and today we're back in Twisted Wonderland for one of my favorite events, the Culinary Crucible. So we're gonna go over the guest room, we're gonna go over the mirror, we're gonna go over the event itself. So with this event, it's kind of unusual. They've added 2 events and put it in one. I'm not sure why they did that, so you'll want to hurry with this event, especially depending if you want riddle or silver. So the first part of this event, it started July 9th and goes until July 13th. And the first part, we have the Culinary Crucible, raising the stakes. But then on July 14th to July 17th, then we have Culinary Crucible, the Spice of Life. I'm not sure why they're rushing us through this one, but honestly, I'm just happy to see this event back at all, so I'm gonna try not to complain. I love this event. This is one of my favorite events in all of Twisted Wonderland. So here are the cards that come with this event. All right, with that out of the way, let's go to the mirror. So in the mirror right now, we have Rugi, Ivory Cliffs. We also have Rook. We also have, I'm still not sure how to say his name. Calaman? Calaman? It's either Calaman, I think, or Calaman. I'm not sure. We'll go with his last name again. Alazam. We also have Alazam in the mirror. And then we have Riddle and Silver, Apprentice Chef, in the mirror right now. So here's my advice with this. So if you know you want both characters, you have no doubts about it, you are going to get both characters in this event, pull for them right away. Well, only pull for one though. Here's why. You want to pull for at least one character if you have your heart set on both right away. All right, so in this section right here, I can't tap on it or it will take us there right away. So I'm gonna click on it. So if you click on this little circle right here, this is your team. See right here, whoops, right here with Riddle and Silver, you get extra rewards for this event. You also get that with part 2 when they release Alazam and Trey, when that part of this event comes out. So if you have the cards, use them. They will help you. So that's why I suggest pulling for one. And then I'll go over why you only want to pull for one, but you at least want to pull for one if you have your heart set on one character. It's because it will give you extra rewards if you use their card on the team. So stay tuned because I can show you a way to get one of the cards for free and you can pick which one you want to get for free. So stay tuned for that. But back to the mirror because this part's important. At least I think so. So here's also to my other piece of advice in the mirror is that, so with these cards, it's just something to note. So these cards are SR cards. They are not SSR cards. So here's my other piece of advice for you with that. Personally, I do not suggest using your 10-fold keys on SR only cards. I highly suggest saving those for SSR cards, especially for events. I would not use a 10-fold key on an SR card. What I suggest is a single summon. Use single summons. You'll save on gems and you'll save on keys. All right, let's go over the event itself. So, first of all, don't be like me and forget missions. I have such a hard time remembering to do missions. I eventually do remember, luckily, but I tend to forget about the missions. And you want the missions, especially you want these. These will help you. So bonus tip, I always save these on the last day because it helps you get out a bunch of recipes on the last day. Use up all your ingredients before the event's over. So you want these, and then for sure you will want the gems, and you'll definitely want the thumb marks. So don't forget about these missions for this event. All right, let's go over the event itself. So here's my tips for this. The longer your team is out, the better ingredients you will get. And I'll go over that in a second. Personally, what I always do, if I know that I'm going to so I play on my iPad. If I know I'm not going to be near my iPad for a really long time, I go with this one. Other than that, I switch between these two. I rarely do this one because you just won't get a lot of good ingredients. It helps if you have, well, for this part of the event, have Riddle or Silver, apprentice, chef on your team. You will get better ingredients, but I think still this is more worth your time. That's my personal opinion. Also, to my other piece of advice. So my other piece of advice for you is with this, so you need a lot of meat. Every recipe calls for meat, so you'll want to grind out trying to get meat as much as you can. Personally, what I do with these events, and it will probably be, I should say, when they switch over to Alazam and Trey, it will be, I believe, jalapenos, and it will probably be around this section here. So my suggestion is, and what I always do, so when I go to bed at night, I always toggle on this right here so that I'm getting ingredients while I'm asleep, if that makes sense. And I usually pick, like for this one, the meat. And when they release the Spice of Life part of this event, I believe it will be jalapenos, so I'll be doing that when that part releases for this event. All right, so the next piece of advice I have for you, they give you a free recipe, use it. At least it was for me, cabbage rolls. You want to use it. It will help you a lot. Also, too, with this event, the name of the game is, if you have an ingredient, use it. Don't worry about the quality of your dishes unless you start to get stuck in the missions. Then go out of your way to use more quality ingredients, but you'll kind of naturally just do it. So with like the cabbage rolls, so see here with the cabbage, I'll naturally get higher quality dishes by just using the ingredient. See here? So after doing the cabbage roll dish 12 times, I'll use up all of the cabbage, and I'll use the quality cabbage in that dish. So it will just naturally happen. So the name of the game with this event is, if you have an ingredient, use it. Don't hoard your ingredients. Just use them.
肉種をキャベツでくるむ。結構難しいな。
Poor Riddle. Poor Riddle can get complex so easy, and then simple things, it's just above his head. Simple is above poor Riddle's head. It's so sad. All right, on to the shop. So what's really awesome about this event, not only can you get thumb marks and gems, but you can also get a bunch of this stuff here. You can use the tokens to buy things. So this is all stuff you can buy for the guest room. They're just super cute and fun. And I think they're exclusive to this event, if I remember right. I don't believe I've seen them anywhere else. They seem to only offer them during this event. So if the guest room is one of your favorite parts, you might want to look into these. So what I highly suggest though for this event is I highly suggest getting this first. Why do you want to get this first? So this is a special key that you can use if you go into here where I'm tapping, right below, right here. And you can buy for free, you don't have to use gems, whatever card you want from this event. It's super nice. Highly, highly suggest getting it. Ooh, I might have to get Trey for this one. I have the other cards, I think. I play this game way too much. It's just too fun. I love this game. Also, too, the other thing I would highly, highly suggest getting through this event is keys, especially now where you can combine them and make tenfold keys. You'll want these keys, so highly suggest getting those. 2, I always suggest you always need shards for events. I don't think you'll need any shards for this event, which is nice, but you will for other events, so I highly suggest getting those. Everything else is pretty much icing on the cake, but I highly suggest getting these first. Personally, I always prioritize getting those from events like this. All right, everyone's favorite part, the recipes. So, if you're like me, Rugi, and Grim, you get really horrified at the idea of people wasting food. So if you're like us, you'll want to stick around. I have recipes for both parts of this event. But if that part of the fun for you is discovering the recipes on your own, that's the fun part for you, you might want to click off. So if you're new to this event, yes, you can fail a dish and you can't get the ingredients back if you fail the dish. So that's something to keep in mind. So those of you who are like me and Grim and Rugi, who can't stand the idea of wasting any food, here you go. Here are the recipes. So the first one is cabbage roll. So meat, not lettuce, cabbage, onion. The next one is beef stew. So meat, carrot, potato, and demi sauce? Demi glaze sauce? Demi glaze sauce? I'm not sure how to say that. I'm guessing that's French, but I'm not sure. Anyway, this sauce here for the beef stew. The next recipe is steak. And the steak calls for meat and garlic. The next recipe is tomato simmered chicken. This is making me hungry. So meat, tomato, whoops, that's not a tomato, onion, and that sauce. The next recipe is meat pie, which calls for onion, sorry, carrot, and pie crust, or pie dough. I guess they're calling it pie dough. The next one is Salisbury steak, which calls for meat, onion, milk, which I don't have, and breadcrumbs. The next recipe is cutlet, which calls for meat, flour, breadcrumbs, and an egg. All right, I hope I don't butcher this one. Bolognese rice gratin, which calls for meat, rice, cheese, and tomato. And then croquettes, I hope I'm saying that right. So meat, potato, onion, breadcrumbs, and an egg. Oh, and I should say the price for all these. So the price for cabbage rolls are 400 thumb marks, then beef stew, 450, steak, 350, tomato, simmered chicken, 450, Salisbury steak, 450, cutlet, 450, bolognese gratin, 450, and croquettes, 500. Oh, I should say, so this, I'm getting this off of the wiki. I will try to remember to link it below. I love the wiki. I'm always on it, especially for events like this. So I got all of the recipes from the Twisted Wonderland wiki. So the first recipe in the Spice of Life is jalapeno and chili pepper pizza, which calls for chili, flour, cheese, and pizza sauce. The next recipe is jerk chicken, which calls for chili and meat. The next recipe, pepperoncino pasta, calls for chili, garlic, and pasta. Abriara pasta, I really hope I'm saying that right, calls for chili, garlic, tomato, and pasta. Biryani calls for chili, meat, rice, and onion. Chili shrimp calls for chili, garlic, ginger, and shrimp. Then curry calls for chili, meat, rice, carrot, and onion. Mapo, I hope I'm saying that right, tofu calls for chili, meat, ginger, garlic, and tofu. Then tacos call for chili, meat, lettuce, tomato, and taco shells. And then here's the prices for each of those recipes. So jalapeno chili pepper pizza is $4.50 thumb marks. Jerk chicken is $3.50. Pepperoncini pasta is $400. Arrabbiata pasta is, I hope I'm saying that right, it is $4.50. Biryani is $4.50. Chili shrimp is $4.50. Curry is $500. Mapo tofu is $500. Tacos are $500.
あんなに喜んで食べてもらえるなら作りがいもあるな。
Silver just says the sweetest things sometimes, doesn't he? It's always kind of takes you off guard, at least maybe me, because not all of the characters do or will say something sweet in Twisted Wonderland. Oh, that's so sad. All right, comment below, who do you have to have for this event? Do you have to have Riddle? Do you have to have Silver? Do you have to have Alazam? Do you have to have Trey? Comment below, and if you love this and love the next one on screen, see you over there.